Hey guys, at Matt and Andy, not at Matt and Andy back here with Atlas Precision Consulting. We are revisiting the topic of Epicor's forced, not forced cloud migration. And we had a lot of people that were asking about their things that they have currently installed in their on Prem P21. So we created a cloud migration tool, assessor tool, that will help us see what's touching your P21 database and be able to help you guys understand that. And Andy here is got it up on his screen, and we're gonna kind of talk through how it works, and then we'll come back with the closing on that.
Yeah, so I mean, essentially, what we're trying to achieve here is, P21 systems, they tend to grow over time, and you just add little things and add little things and add little things. And one of the things um, that's always kind of interesting, like you've got 15 years worth of modifications, and now we have to figure out how to replicate them all in 6 months, or whatever, right? So So we've been trying to figure out like what's the best way that we can do the very best job possible to figure out all of those little nuances that are plugged into your P21, that are touching your P21 database, because that's the key. That's like the API is not that big of a deal, right? If you're using the API for stuff, as long as you know it exists, it should port for the most part. I don't think we're going to see a lot of problems there. Where we're going to see problems is in all the little custom stored procedures and all of those little things, SQL jobs and all of that. So what we wanted to do was sort of develop this holistic tool that allows us to put it on a customer's database server and let it run for a while, and then analyze it and try to give you feedback on, okay, whether or not we help you do the migration, here's the state of your P21 as we see it. Here's all of the little things you're going to have to try to account for. So we're looking at SISM jobs, because that changes. Those have to go through FTP. You don't just drop them into a file share. Anything that's touching the database, somebody's got a custom Excel spreadsheet, or you've got this other application that's out there, or here's a list of objects on your database that are not part of the standard P21 uh, database schema. And so that's really what we're trying to do. So this is our internal monitoring tool for the assessments that we have going. You see, we've got it running for a couple of different folks right now, because we just wanted to make sure that it's solid before we're ready to announce it to the world. And thankfully it's run 53,000 times. It seems to be working pretty well. So anyway, this just kind of gives us that overview. When we want to get into the nitty gritty of something, we can go in here and choose a particular customer and then what date range we want to look at that data for. So we'll just like do the month of January. And I always put it in exhaustive mode. Essentially, what we did to make this work, because the data set is massive and there's a lot of repeats, and you really have to be able to separate the proverbial wheat from the chaff and figure it out. So we built an AI bot that's designed to literally do that. It understands exactly what's native to P21 and what isn't. It knows what to look for. It gives us an extremely consistent output every single time. And we can preview the context on this just to kind of show you, hey, this is what we saw. We're looking at this SQL server. We've looked at it 2,000 times because it ticks every couple of minutes. We want to make sure that we're picking up things that are transient and intermittent. Um, we found 12,000 connections to this database, and there were 36 current connections matched. We give it all of this information, and then we generated an analysis from it, And this takes a little bit, but we like I said, we built a custom bot up in Azure Open API. The good news about this is we're not connecting your system to AI. That's not how this works at all. What happens is we're collecting um, we're collecting all of the data into an API that we control, that's in our stack behind a firewall where nobody can mess with it or anything like that. There's really no access to it. It's all encrypted keys, and everybody's got their own key. Um, but we then take that, summarize it, and that's what goes to the AI bot so that it can then come back and give us an analysis of it. So once the analysis is done, we can download a report for that and see what the results are.
So is there a recommended time that our customers should want this installed in their environment?
Uh, I think at least 30 days, because we certainly want to go through a month end, and pick up those things that are only running once a month. Um, some more complex environments, you might want to run it for a couple of months. But I think after that, you're probably just getting mostly repeat information. So that would be my recommendation is let's look at, 30, 45, maybe 60 days, depending on system complexity. But once we have all that information collected and we get it into a report that we can then review and tune it and make sure that it is AI, right? So it's not like bulletproof. We want to look at that. We're obviously going to spend time reviewing it and making sure it makes sense. Go back and check anything that needs to be checked. But essentially, allows us to then come back in here, kind of give you an overview of what we found. Hey, we found on this P21, we found 53 custom views, stored procedures, triggers, and functions. We found 12 agent jobs, 11 of which we think are just maintenance, one that we're not really sure about. We're seeing 3 logins and 3 different hosts and 12 different programs that are not P21 that are connecting to this database. We don't see any SISM imports. We don't see necessarily any API usage. Now, I want to be clear on this. We're looking at API connectivity to the database. We're not looking at your web server to see how it's connecting to the API. That's not part of what we're doing with this because, again, like I said earlier, we feel like the API stuff is probably going to port over pretty well. We might be proven wrong and come back and make an improvement on it, but right now we just don't see an impetus for that. And we're giving you kind of a list of blockers and then what your readiness level is. So here we're really getting into the nitty gritty where we're saying, okay, we found all of these objects that are not part of P21. How do we know that? Well, we took the latest version of P21, we made a list of every object in there and said if it's not on this list, it's custom. And so, that's where you're finding all these different stored procedures. Here's a bunch of different triggers that these are all UD triggers. So a lot of these definitely would have been added after the fact. Um, Here's custom data streams. Uh, Now these are views, and they're probably okay because those will continue to work. But we're still listing them out so that you know that they're there. Here's all the different agent jobs, which most of these are being categorized as maintenance, um, mainly because like all of this stuff is part of the Hallengren maintenance solution. So that's not a big deal. Maintenance will be handled in the cloud, so you don't have to worry about it. But if you had a bunch of custom SQL jobs running, doing things to P21, running credit limit fixes and things like that, they would show up on this list as well to tell you, hey, this is not standard. You're going to have a plan for this. Um, this is giving you a list of everything that's connecting to the database. Now, I think we still need to tune this just a little bit because I know pop-up structure is part of P21. .NET SQL client, that could go either way. That could be a custom or it could be coming straight from P21. Management Studio, it's telling you who's doing that. There's Copilot code completions. We're even seeing that. So it gives us a really good idea of different applications that are connecting to P21, just so we know what's out there. So we didn't find anything for SISM. We didn't find anything for API utilization. And here, now we're just telling you, kind of giving you an assessment of what do you need to do with it. Well, you're going to have to refactor this because you can't have that function. Or, getting down here, like all 24 views, those are fine. Triggers are going to have to be removed or refactored and refactored. Stored procedures have to be refactored. Um, and then, looking at things that are um, risky from an agent perspective, which there really aren't any on this one. Um, Here again, we're looking at things that are directly writing to your database connection or writing to your database, and that's a blocker. Anything writing directly to the database is going to have to be refactored in some sort of way. So that's sort of the overall of where we're going, and then we just kind of give you a summary at the end of here are the things that you're going to need to look at and deal with, and that at least gives you a roadmap for what you're looking at for a P21 cloud move. Like I said, we work with clients that they have really old, long-standing P21s. All of these things that are blockers 8 years ago was the only way to get it done, right? So it's not like it's necessarily a bad thing. It's just we used to be able to modify P21 this way. We don't do that anymore. We have to do it, through the API or whatever. And now we have to go back and find all of those little gremlins in the system that we got to work on.
Yeah, and part of this product is um is this output, this report. We'll install the tool in your environment. We'll be able to give you this report. Now, what you do with this report is really up to you. This is our best assessment of your system. You can bring that back to us and say, okay, we want you to help us redo these, um, help us figure out which ones we don't need. We can get a little bit more in depth on those and help you make business decisions. And then we can help you migrate from on prem to the cloud. Or you could just take this information and just have it internally. We would love to help people with the migration, but we understand it if you just want the information. You know, there's no lock in that, oh, if we give you this, you have to do the migration with us. We would like you to do it with us, but most importantly, we just want to make sure you have your information covered.
Absolutely. Yeah, that Matt's right. We decided early on that we would just come up with a flat rate for this tool and install it, monitor it, create the output for it, and then hand it off to the customer, and no strings attached. If you want us to help you, obviously we would love to do that, but there's absolutely no obligation past that.
Yep. So um, we're going to be this will be covered in our newsletters coming up and stuff like that. But if you're watching this video and you're interested in grabbing this tool or just talking about the process and this tool, you can put a comment down below, or we have a special link to contact us about this cloud migration that'll be in the comments down below. And we can go from there, and we can talk about pricing. It'll be 50% down on install, and then the other 50% when we deliver the results of your monitoring. So
All right.
I appreciate everybody watching this, and we want to be here to help you guys as much as we can. Other than that, thanks, Andy, and have a great day.
Have a great day, everybody.